major project to get this message mainstream. That's the problem that's holding us back. Is it some big company is going to make an announcement, I hope in the second quarter of this year, and says, hey, we're working on a pilot with PBNSG that's going to help our employees. When that happens, I would love to come back and celebrate with all of you with food. Some good food, not great food, but good, real good food. But my point is that you're here to learn. You're here to say, hey, I got somebody I love that's sick and I want to help them. I don't care what the reason is. Start. Take just, if it's just, here. I loved whole milk, I went to 1% milk, okay? So when I made my change, I had to decide, am I gonna have almond milk, soy milk, oat milk, hemp milk, you know, whatever. So I did a blind taste test. Guess what? I don't mind soy milk. It's not bad. That's me. Other people like almond milk. I realized I just got rid of milk. I gave you the recipe for yogurt. You go on our website, you could take tofu and you can make a tofu scramble, so it almost tastes with nutritional yeast, it almost tastes like scrambled eggs. Almost. Remember, it's good, it's just not great. Okay? So again, there's a lot of different choices. You can ask questions of all of us that will support you. So I think that's enough of me yapping. Does anybody have any questions? Because I'm here to answer any questions. And even if you want to just share a quick story, because I'm willing to come back. And yes?
My husband's 83. He's had CLL, chronic lymphocytic leukemia, for 18 years, off and on the chemos and things. And he's an energetic little guy. 4 years ago, February, he had a mass. God bless Dr. Hammond's oncologist. She put him on a chemo. It was in a clinical trial. Within a year, the mass was gone. He was on it for 3.5 years. No side effects, but his short-term memory seemed to be getting worse. So last July, I brought this up when we saw her, and she said, well, the data is in. This chemo drug does cause short-term memory loss. He was tested, he lost 50% of his short-term memory. The son from Australia, who's vegetarian, had come home in July. Mom, we're going to eat vegetarian 3.5 weeks. I went to Black Mountain in North Carolina, Rip Esselstyn, Camp Flint Strong with my daughter, when right after Jeff left. Did the 3 days, came home, and we had already eaten vegetarian. Put Joe on it. He said, I'll do whatever. And Dr. Hamm had taken him off of the drug. So August, he's off of the drug. He starts eating vegetarian July. Had blood work done a week ago. All his numbers are normal. Normal. No chemo for 7 months. His platelets, hemoglobin, white cell neutrophil, normal. And he feels good.
You know what, now think about the setup, okay? Just think about the world we live in today. So everyone knows about GMOs, right? So what they do is they put stuff that's poison in the ground so they can produce a higher yield. So instead of having 4 ears of corn, they can have 10. Okay, so got me so far? Okay. Then they take that poisonous corn, and what do? They feed it to the animals that we eat. But, you know, now it's not chickens anymore, it's what are roosters, or what do they call roaster? I don't know, they don't even call it. But if you look at a chicken or you look at a cow, the udders, they don't have 4 or 5 areas to pull them out. They got 10. They give them all the poison, the pills, the steroids to keep them, and they're in terrible situation, you know, terrible living conditions. But they feed them the poison, and again, this is not me being crazy, this is facts. They give them the GMO food, they keep steroids in them to keep big and productive, and guess what they do with both of those? Who do they give it to? Us. Now the coolest thing is our body is really amazing. All it wants to do is heal itself. I mean, really think about it. You cut yourself, it's working on healing all the time. Our body, with all the stuff I put in it growing up, it just wants to heal. It wants to heal in spite of the poisons that we put in it. So think about what the body would do if we didn't put that in us anymore. Question is, do I go organic or not when it comes to fruits, vegetables? My attitude and answer is, if you could go organic, go organic. But if you can't, just get vegetables and fruits. Okay? More questions. I know everyone's tempted. In fact, you know, I almost wanted to pull the why are you here card. So let's do that for a second. Can we do that for a minute? I'm just curious. Sure. Okay, no one's gonna be embarrassed. Okay, why here today?
I want to change my eating. I don't feel good. I want to start feeling better.
You're at the right place. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
So
I'm not asking everybody to stand up, so we're not gonna embarrass anybody. Go ahead.
my wife and I have been meat-free for 2 years,
Okay.
and we're taking it to the next level.
I love it. Okay, what's the next level for you two?
Vegan.
Okay.
Plant-based.
Bye-bye dairy, right?
Yeah.
We are oil, cutting out oil.
Okay, so the question is, if I had to choose between meat, dairy, and oil, if I had to give up one, I'd say, why do I have to give up one? But it would probably be dairy. Probably be dairy, okay? You're gonna really improve it, and when you get to that oil, why are you here today?
We're here about, I think exactly a month. We came here with Steve and he started giving us this knowledge about the product that we never really know before. Now, we get rid of dairy. Like, I said to my husband and even our 2 kids, 2 teenagers, we're gonna try it. Just try to get rid of milk. I lost 12 pounds. My daughter lost almost 3 sizes. She didn't even realize it, that she's losing weight because of the dairy. And they're not complaining. We go to almond milk, and it's delicious.
And soy milk.
And soy
Yeah.
milk. But the dairy really is really so true, that once you get rid of it, and everyone is have a regular now, I know, it's like you said, in the bathroom.
Hey, there's,
Instead of
we're a
revolving,
family, so I mean, we gotta be able to talk, right?
Yes.
But I mean, I mean,
But it's
that's,
amazing.
I'm
It's
so,
so
and by the way, your list of books is absolutely incredible, and I mean, not only for just knowledge, if someone said, well, what would be the top 3 books? China Study, How to Reverse and Prevent Heart Disease, and How Not to Die, okay? Those are my, but each one of them has like a recipe section, and believe it or not, the one I've probably pulled the most recipes is John McDougall's book, his first one. I just happen to like it, but now I get most of my recipes off the website. I got so many great chefs, it's crazy. But congratulations, and yes, continue.
Also,
Oh, I'm sorry.
with that, we trying to at least 4 times, 4 times an hour walk with my daughter, and it's so nice because we bond more now because we have time to talk, and it's amazing. This is a mother and daughter.
So you guys are, you're closer now.
Yes, we
So
do.
we're
And
getting
she's
families
16.
together.
Yeah, she's 16. She's in that, pulling away,
Yeah.
that stage. So, but now it's amazing.
You know, it's interesting when you think about it. It's when you remember the food pyramid or the circle, and they give you like how much of everything. Okay, so think about it like this: 70% should be what you eat, and then it should be the rest 10 on exercise, because you need to exercise, sleep, and stress.
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, I do yoga. I tell you, I never in my life would have thought I'd ever do yoga. I love it. Okay, why are you here?
We went 100% plant-based about 18 months ago. It's kind of cold turkey, just flipped the switch. We're new to Windsor too, so we're kind of isolated in our lifestyle. So we wanted to come out and try to meet some like-minded people. So we're excited that this group is here. Because the regular society out there doesn't really accept or understand, that the whole
It's tough.
lifestyle. And in probably about the end of November, we went 100% oil-free, or tried to. So that made all the difference. We found that's when we started. I started really change and lose some weight, and we exercise daily. Like we go to the gym daily. We have one in our building. So that's what you.
No, I just think that it makes a big difference, and there's so much information, along with this group, along with the internet, that you can learn as much as you want to learn. And I think the big change for us was going no oil. We didn't realize, we thought we were eating healthy with the oil, but we found out we weren't. And putting in a little bit of exercise, even just going on the treadmill and walking, it doesn't have to be strenuous. Just getting out there, being active, and we've lost how many pounds together in the last
Over 50.
over 50
You know,
pounds since November?
Yes.
I want you to come, maybe consider sending me an email, and maybe doing that 5-minute talk
We
together.
were at the last one there.
Would you do that? Would you consider it? And, but you gotta
We'll do
email me.
anything for some snacks or something. As long as they don't have any oil.
All right, listen.
I wanna add one
Yes.
thing though. People that say, you know, I don't have time, or I can't give up my milk, or I can't, you know what, it's bullshit, it's a habit. When you were born,
Family, it's okay.
you didn't have, you weren't born with that habit. You weren't born with the habit that I gotta have a piece of meat, or I gotta have a milk, or whatever, right, a latte or whatever. And, you know, people gotta get their priorities straight. It's their own business. If you don't wanna do it, then, you know, go jump off the bridge, like, you gotta kind of
You
be.
don't wanna F with this guy, right? No, but you know what, I guess what we're saying is what I said earlier, which is, this is a lifestyle change. So Sundays was always, for me, a day of fun and be with, now, half the day is batch cooking. By the way, I suggest that for everybody. Make your life easy. This stuff freezes great, okay? Batch cook. Get the big containers, make enough for 10, you're good all
I
week.
just wanna, like, once this new information was presented to us, and you mean the research is there, the evidence is there, like, how can you just ignore that and say, you know, I gotta have my steak? Like, the evidence is there that it's gonna change your life and make you healthier.
I've got a friend, his name is Joe, he's one of my best buddies growing up. The day I found out heart disease, he found out he was a type 2 diabetic. Joe has now lost 3.5 toes. I begged him as a dear friend, please, let's do this together, because this will stop diabetes forever, type 2 diabetes. But there are people who they just can't do it, and that's the behavioral
But they
thing.
have that choice.
And we all have
you know what,
choices.
you can lead the horse to water, you can make him drink.
Yeah. You know what, how am I for time?
Great.
It's 8 o'clock.
No problem.
Can I continue?
Absolutely.
We went
Good.
to, left at 8:30.
Why are you here today?
I believe that good nutrition is important, good health.
That's beautifully said. Why are you here today?
I came to support my daughter first and foremost, but I have every one of those situations that you talked about, heart disease, diabetes, and I have to do something about it because I'm just getting worse at each one. So it's something that I've got to do something about it.
You know, it's, again, I underscore the word behavior, because it's, when you spend, for me, 55 years eating a certain way, to turn that switch, some people can do it. But, I mean, if it's really a struggle, then I'm just saying, and I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, but we gotta find out what is holding you back, what it is, because clearly you have a love for your daughter, you wouldn't be here if you didn't. And clearly she loves you, so she wants you to live a long, healthy life. You're not gonna get better eating what you're eating. You're only gonna get, oh, you said that. When? If not now, when?
It's whatever I'm eating is not working.
Well, that's where you come to our culinary classes, starting with Transition 101. We sold out, we've been selling out every one. Our next one, I think, is in March. But I'm saying, you take the drive, it's worth it. We're investing in you, you're investing in yourself. And learn. Because the benefits are you get to live a great long life. And that feels, that's the thing that motivates me. I want to live another 30 years without pain and suffering. Why are you here?
Because I want her to listen.
What?
Well, it sounds like you guys are gonna do it. Sounds like you're gonna do it together, right?
That would be nice,
She
but
wants me to listen.
yes.
Okay, well, it's a mother and it's a family. We'll move on. Okay? Why are you here today?
I was told to come.
You're a smart man. You're,
simple.
you know, okay.
I was not gonna come, but then I'm glad I did, because I'm getting the basic information on it and just getting exposed to it, and then I can actually work with it a little bit better than I've been working at. So I've been to the gym quite a bit, and I do go to the gym quite a bit. But, you know, with that needs, you know, whatever you put in your body needs to carry you on, right?
Again, the gym is a 10%er, a little bit more or less, but you just be careful of what you eat. But I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Yes.
I'm the one that told him to come.
Oh, you're
Well, I was found out I was pre-diabetic, and I had, high cholesterol, so anyway, my cardiologist said something about the keto diet and everything, but I was working with a friend who was a 30-year vegan. So she said, just trust me, Betty, I'm gonna tell you what to do, and she told me to have smoothies in the morning with almonds and water, but not, and then, of course, I had almond milk before this. And then she told me to eat salads with lemon or lime only. So, it was a hard transition for me, because I was used to organic olive oil and everything else. And then my daughter was starting to become more vegetarian. So I said, okay, I've heard about this through the Waves of Change on the Facebook, and so I said I'm going to come.
Allow me just to let people know, because again, I'm no judgment person. When it comes, people ask me all the time about smoothies, so I'll just let you know. If you're going from like bad food to smoothies and you want to make it kind of a transition, great. But I'm letting you know, when you take all those wonderful fruits and you put them in those super blenders to make those smoothies, you take the most important thing of the fruit away, which is the fiber. And that turns into like sugar. So my point is that why have the smoothies when you could just eat the fruit?
Right.
Try that kindly. Why are you here today?
Well, yeah, she said, I guess, about a year and a half ago, I decided to go vegetarian. I had always wanted to, because my dad actually went vegetarian when he was in sport, and so I was always kind of curious about how, it's mostly curiosity to see how my body would be or feel. I also have had like quite a few friends also who went vegetarian, so I guess I would say when I first transitioned, I actually felt my energy levels dip at first, which is what I kind of tell everybody, because sometimes some people do feel that, and then eventually what I realized was I just felt a different feeling of full compared to when I was eating meat. So it wasn't bad, it was just different. And I'm actually also a registered nurse, so it's been really interesting because I am a huge advocate for a lot of change in our healthcare system, because I actually really don't like medication. As you said, it's a symptom blocker. It doesn't actually...
Well, it's like putting a Band-Aid on things, and
Yeah.
everyone has the side effects. I mean, it comes with, you get this, but you got to suffer with this.
Yeah.
Why would you want that? You know, but by the way, just FYI, our organization created something called the medical course material. So we have a curriculum piece of 4 items, nutritional items, educational items on the 9 systems of the body. We tried to take that to the universities in Michigan, and they said to me, hey, great, it's perfect. And we got it in Spanish, by the way, too. But what do you want me to get rid of? And I laughed at them. I'm like, get rid of, who cares? You should always lead with nutrition before pills and procedures, always. But politically, it could be years and years away. We also have Healthier Together Manual, which is 82 pages of my notes for the first 2 years, so other organizations around the world can start their own plant-based group. We now have like 6 affiliations throughout the United States. I'm just saying that because you may know somebody in a different state who might have some interest, or somebody who works on the curriculum side of the university. So congratulations, and keep up the good work. Yes, why are you here?
More information, my family, I have 2 teenagers, my husband and myself. We all started going vegetarian 2 years in March. Within 2 weeks we were vegan, and my children asked to do it. They watched the documentaries, we sat together. My husband's Italian, and I'm Polish. Both of those diets are full of meat and fat and butter and oil. Our families are not accepting. But we do it anyway, and this Christmas they finally said, hey, there's vegans here, because last Christmas there was literally nothing. They ignored the fact that we had to sit there and eat like bread.
Okay, so no, that's we talk about a house divided.
Yeah,
it was
hard.
Or
hard.
families divided.
Yeah.
And first of all, I like hey, like when
Yeah.
I deal with going out, I have 3 choices. First, I will eat before I go out, so I can always play with the salad.
Yep.
Okay. Number two, I call the restaurant and I just make double, triple sure that they could do something, because I've already looked at their menu and I say, hey, I've looked at your menu, you got these 10 items, let's put them all together and can you make this?
Yeah.
Okay? Or I just have water and I just sit there. I make other people a little uncomfortable because everyone, hey, why are you eating like that? But guess what never will change?
No.
My conviction.
Yeah.
I don't,
So,
so.
It's kind of funny, they're coming around, because my husband is the only one in his Italian family, he's 51, he looks fantastic. And he's the only one that is not on cholesterol medication, he's the only one that doesn't have high blood pressure, and he dropped the bombshell that we were giving up oil. Well, oh my gosh, giving up olive oil is like cardinal sin. Don't give up oil in an Italian family. So, because, they do dip the bread in the oil, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, many, many things happen. My teenage daughter is now up at Guelph studying environmental, because she wants to save the planet and the animals, and, but she was very, very underweight. We couldn't do anything to put weight on her. Since going plant-based, she has gained like 15 pounds. It was the only way we could put, by eating plants doesn't make any sense to most people.
Your body achieves the weight
It's
it's meant
supposed
to
to be.
carry.
Right.
My son was a
Yeah.
little overweight, so he's now lost weight. My husband, the same thing. And the funny thing about oil, we just recently did this. My husband works out like a crazy man in the basement, and after 2 weeks of giving up oil, he went from being able to do like 30 pull-ups, and he was going up to like 40, 45. And within 2 weeks, he was up to 45, and he was like, I feel like a racehorse. Like he says, I don't understand.
Are we,
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah,
Like
no, but it's
congratulations.
awesome. No, I mean, it's awesome.
we're happy for you, but.
No.
Okay.
But it's awesome, and I just some more information, like, what's your stance on vegan, like, margarine and butter? I know it's oil, right? It's oil, so.
No,
No.
no.
So what do you do when you have breads and things too? What's your substitute? That's one of the things I was wondering.
Well,
Hummus.
you could, bread substitute, okay, so you could, Ezekiel bread makes a.
No, bread I got.
Okay,
Like, what do you put on your
Yeah.
toast?
Hummus.
Hummus,
I
yeah,
put
okay.
hummus on it. Or,
Okay, we do that.
there's some like no sugar jam that you could do, or date, like a